God damn.
Too much there.
Yeah, Monster's getting into that a little bit too much. And
Yeah,
some extreme words. I big up everyone that's in the building, man. Big up everyone, man. It's a bit of a. I'm gonna call this a bit of a. Actually, no, I can't say that because Monster. I was gonna say a super panel, like in context. It's a bit of a super panel, but Monster's here. So
shut up, fam. Me and you both played at the more than you. Yeah? I'm in that category.
But yeah, man, big up, man. We're joined by a man like what's it called? Monts in the building. Man like George Achillea with the best last name in YouTube, and then man like Rory, talks football. Massive on TikTok, massive on Twitter. Engagement levels are high. YouTube's up and running. All in the description, in the pinned, and you can find every single one of these lots of channels right there. But make sure you smash a like. Today, we're going to be talking about a little bit about probably more of the squad of Arsenal currently. That's going to go into the Man City game. Who's going to be the key players? Where if Saka's there or not there, which is funny enough, he's in the England squad. Yeah, mad Monts, mad, innit? Yeah.
Crazy. Hey, I have a theory.
Yeah, man, we're going to be talking about the key players that we feel that could make the difference for them. We're going to be talking about Liverpool, hence Monts is why he's going to be gassing it up. And, how awake are they going to be after all this funny week, to be fair. I'm going to compare it a little bit to when there was allegations towards Man City and what run they went on. It could be the exact same thing for Liverpool, fired up, spicy, and then Newcastle. I think they deserve some recognition, and you guys should listen because boy, five wins out of 6, conceded 1 goal in 6 games. I've just been told as well against PSG out of all teams. So Newcastle, man, back to their best potentially. But what you guys saying, man? Talk to me. Any of you?
Go ahead. I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm still waiting for Liverpool to calm down a little bit from this week, but it's all good.
Here we go.
My Twitter feeds just keep on going and going. I'm not even touching it, and it just keeps moving on with more tweets. But it's all good.
Yeah, man.
I'm just glad the City game's coming so that we can not focus on the Champions League defeat. I reckon. Don't have to talk about that too much.
You're in the mud with me. Yeah, we don't.
Wow.
Well, you're lucky it's a Thursday because we don't have to talk about that, So we're kind of getting away with one. But yeah, man. Big up George, big up Monts, big up Rory. Cool. Let's talk a little bit about Arsenal, especially with Manchester City, Rory. If Saka is to be there or not to be there, what is your actual thoughts around that situation? If it's you, just you personally, are you just like, nah, just rest? It's not that deep.
Nah, play. And now he's in the England squad. If he's playing for England a week later, he can play for us. And if it does make the injury worse, then he can just not go and play with England, and it doesn't matter. But I will be so angry if I don't see him on Sunday, and then I see him at Wembley, literally less than a week later. So yeah, I think we've got to play him. And I feel like Arteta loves mind games, and I'm not saying that it was planned that he'd go off in the 30th minute, but I feel like they definitely made more of the injury than they would have done. I can't imagine he'd have been named in the England squad if there was any doubt of him being fit.
You know what? I got informed yesterday. There's a season ticket holder for Arsenal, and I got told every game when it finishes and the game's dead and buried, he's always limping off. He's always holding something. There's always something that needs to be attended to, and it doesn't look right. And I mean, to be fair, Saka's the first player in Europe to be, even on injury, first player this year in Europe to hit a double GA or something like that, if I'm correct. He's on something like 10 goals and assists overall.
Yeah. He's got 10 goals and assists in 10 games.
That's impressive as it is, but against Man City, do you think there's any other key players, George, that could really make the difference? Because when I'm looking at that game, I'm thinking that midfield needs to be one. I'm thinking, can't believe I'm going to say it, Declan Rice, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's going to have to step up the plate massively because look, I don't know what you guys are going to field because I've seen Havertz has been shocking for me so far, for you guys. And so we have Rice, definitely Odegaard, and is it going to be Havertz for that final spot? Is Rice going to forward? Is Partey going to be back in there? Is he back yet?
Partey's back. Partey trained for the first time on Monday, so he's got effectively a full week of training under his belt. But it'll be interesting to see if he can come straight back into the starting lineup or not.
Yeah, because I think that's my main worry is definitely got to be that defensive mid spot because Alvarez is on fire at the moment, sort of sitting in behind or working alongside Haaland. Not only that, Phil Foden's in pretty good form as well, scoring in Europe, been getting to the team a lot more. So that sort of central midfield area, well, defensive mid for you guys, attacking mid for Man City, I think that's been their major threat at the moment so far this season, or at least in the last few games. So definitely, I think whoever ends up playing in that defensive mid spot is going to have to have a hell of a game. I can't lie.
Once, man, Havertz, stinky. You know, he ain't had the greatest of times. He had his confidence boost against Bournemouth. Didn't repay the favour against Lens. What are you saying in that midfield? Because I'm thinking Bernardo Silva just had a full 90 minutes. He hasn't played football in quite a couple of weeks or something. So he's come in. He's an athlete. Partey, to be fair to him, he's been out for what, about 4 weeks? 4 weeks? Something like that, maybe. Would you just start him straight away? Because I would. I'm thinking of that option in that midfield. I'm so curious to see Declan Rice, Partey, and Odegaard.
I don't think Arsenal have a choice at the moment. I still think Arteta's doing this whole experimental big brain stuff that he just doesn't need to do. You just need to kind of go back to what works. I know he wants to tweak things, so he's becoming unpredictable. But when you tweak something, sometimes it has to go wrong before you need to make a change. I know that's more reactive than proactive, but there was no evidence to say that Arsenal's original formula was ever going to stop working anyway. For me, their attacks become predictable. The wingers are suffering in this new... I think the centre mids, the eights are getting more joy, hence why Odegaard's getting that GA up again. But I feel like even though Saka has got that 10 GA, for me, Saka hasn't looked the same as he has last season, and Martinelli before the injury also hasn't looked the same. And that's not per se their fault. I just think that they haven't had as many opportunities to be isolated with their wing back one-on-one to make them look as dangerous and as potent. And I understand it's more of like a controlled type of thing, but I don't know, man. Something about Arsenal to me, the bite's not exactly the same. And maybe it's early in the season and they got to kick into gear, so obviously it's early to say. But yeah, and just on the midfield, on Kai Havertz. Just game by game, I just don't see what he brings to the team. It's passenger settings for me. If he feels like a passenger, it's like 5-yard passes and the occasional cutback. Compared to Granit Xhaka. Like, bro, look at Granit Xhaka. He's killing it. He is killing it in the German league right now.
Germany, Leverkusen, yeah.
I said as well, Xhaka for me, whoever they bring in, it's going to be hard to upgrade on the Xhaka we saw last season, not the one over the 7 years, but the one we saw last season. It's going to be very difficult to upgrade from him. And for me, I feel like they've downgraded in midfield, unless Partey does play that 8 role, or if he plays the 6 and Roger and Rice plays the 8. It depends who does what in it, but that's kind of my opinion.
This is the thing. We've only seen Partey, Rice, Odegaard as a midfield once, and that was in the Community Shield against City. And we definitely didn't lose that midfield battle, and they had De Bruyne and Rodri in that game. So they're weaker than that. And we've also, still this season, have not seen Jesus, Martinelli and Saka as a front three because of injuries. And I think that's another... And I still don't think we'll see it on the weekend, unfortunately, because I don't think Martinelli's going to be back, certainly not back enough to start. But the fact that we've not seen either of those three combinations, I think we definitely just haven't seen the best of what Arsenal can be yet. And I do think Declan Rice can be the upgrade on Xhaka in the 8, as long as Thomas Partey's fit enough to play in the 6.
See, this is what I don't know. Like Declan Rice has been playing 6 all season, so automatically, do you want to put him into the 8? Would that make sense, or would maybe putting Partey in the 8 maybe more sense? It depends who he wants long term to be in that 6th position. I think Declan Rice should be in the 8th position personally. I think if we go with it, so I think Declan Rice is an 8. Some people think he's a 6. Partey's originally an 8, and he's not a 6. But it's what he adds is the control, which Declan Rice I don't think adds too tough as well. Once like I think Partey when he's there, he scans the pitch a lot better, knowing what's behind him.
Declan Rice is one of the best 6 in the league.
Yeah, right now that's why I said it'll be hard to change that. So putting Partey in the 8 might be a way to go forward a little bit. Like he is good ball carrier, just like Declan Rice as well. I think it's tit for tat. I don't think it really matters too much where you played him.
But then hasn't Partey also been filling in a right back to then almost play in midfield? Some of the City.
Yeah.
So I guess he is sort of in a way playing like a 6 in that position anyway. So
Partey's the best. Partey, I think, is I think a combination of Partey as the 6 and Declan Rice as the 8 is far better than the other way around. And from what Declan Rice said in a couple of early interviews, it sounded like Arteta does want him to be in the 8 long term. He was talking about all of the things that he needed to learn compared to when he was playing as a 6. So even though I do think he is one of the best 6s in the league, I think he's got all the attributes to become one of the best 8s in the league as well. And what we're missing right now is an out-and-out 8. Like I don't think we have one at the club since Granit Xhaka left, which is a problem.
Yeah, I think that's the problem. I originally thought he was going to be signed as that 8 anyways. Like if Havertz plays against... Like this is a must-win game. I don't think this is a must-win for Man City, like personally, but I think this is more of a must-win for Arsenal. They need to get over. You know what Tottenham fans said that over to you once Liverpool that they broke the curse. This is another curse you can call it. This is another. I don't think Arsenal Arsenal haven't beaten Man City in the league since 20. Bro, that's like. What?
I think that's also why it's a little a must-win for City though, because they need to not show that they can slip. After losing to Wolves as well, I feel like we know what Man City are like after losing a game like that. They're going to go back.
Huh? Sorry, what?
I'm saying after the Wolves game, Man City like they need to. They're not going to show up lightly, and I think it's just as important for them to show that they're not sort of falling apart without Rodri and co.
But it's the same way for Arsenal. Let's see how they can manage if Saka is to be injured and not be fit enough to start the game or play the game in general. I think this is a good time for Arsenal fans to see what else. This is where you earn your coin, Arteta. What can you come up with? Can you do something for me or can't you? Because when we think about it logically, like there is no, and that's a big, massive piece missing for them. And John Stones isn't exactly, well, he hasn't had a minute of football since start of the season maybe, or even before that, maybe since pre-season, I think. And that's probably that. I'd originally think I'll just bring in John Stones straight away to add that bit of a defensive cover. It's a bit weird how we're going to see Pep line up and how he's going to engage the game. But I'm just looking at this midfield, and this is why I say Declan Rice is probably the most key player in that midfield, because I think down to physicality, they got Bernardo back. That's legs in general. Declan Rice needs to be a bit of a bully. And this, who said it earlier, something about they lack a little bit of bite? Arsenal. Yeah, exactly. And I think that's where Declan Rice needs to add that bite and be the guy to throw his body around a little bit, but not stupid and get a yellow card and get sent off. But this game, the way it's headed, like one week I'm thinking, right, like Man City's got the upper hand. The next week I'm thinking, I don't know, Rodri's off. I think Arsenal might have this. Then Arsenal get an injury and then Man City do something again. Was it Champions League or whoever it was? You're like, nah, you know what? Man City are going to wipe the floor of them. And then all of a sudden you change your mind and think, you know what? This looks more of a 50-50 type game. You know, would you start Nketiah up front? That's Rory. If Saka's injured, who are you playing? Because one player that has a great game against Man City all the time is Trossard.
Yeah, I wouldn't start Nketiah just because I think he does a lot of things right, but ultimately you're not going to get many chances against City, and I don't trust it when it comes to Nketiah. So I think it all hangs on Saka. But if Saka is fit, I think you go Saka, Jesus and Trossard.
If Saka's not there, though?
If Saka's not there, I'd honestly go Reece Nelson, Jesus and Trossard. I think we have to play... Jesus has to be through the middle. And with every other attacking player that we've got, you can move them either side of Jesus. But if you force Nketiah in, you force Jesus out wide, and I think he's way less effective there.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think so. He needs
Can
to
we talk about Saka, please? Can we talk about this Saka situation? Because this is, I'm going to be real. Let the kid rest. Let the kid rest. I've never seen 86 or 88 games on the bounce. The guy comes off with an innocuous injury. He's in the England squad, and he'll probably be in the squad on the weekend. You're killing him. You lot are killing him. Like, he's too good and this is just from the outside looking in. Listen, if he's not injured and Arteta's got in the back room, listen, yeah, in that Lons game, you go down injured in the 30th minute. I swear to God, you go down injured. And Saka goes, no, coach, that I'm fine. I want to play that. You fucking go down injured and you fake that injury so you can play against City, so you can get these people talking. All right. Now, listen, unless the conversation went like that, yeah, cool, fair enough. But honestly, on a serious note, like, there's no need.
Making me think it's just a bit of an Arteta mind game. I wouldn't put it past Arteta, you know, to do something like that.
He's already got an Achilles. He's already got an ongoing Achilles thing. That injury that he pulled up against Lons was like he was holding the back of his left leg.
This is
like,
hamstring,
a hamstring, yeah.
Yeah, it was looked like a hamstring.
I think it was his calf area. To be
fair.
So
you're telling me the kid's basically playing on 2 injuries? Like, for me, it's not sustainable, because if you want to, he always has his burnout at the end of the season. I'm pretty sure, like, Rory, you would agree, he has his burnout at the end of the season.
Yeah,
like you want to.
It's not sustainable, but Man City isn't the game to give him that rest. Like the mistake, it wasn't even like he should have started against Lons away if he was fit, because it's an away Champions League game, and the fact that we lost showed that he should have started. I think the mistake was playing him against Bournemouth last weekend. Like, he didn't need to play against Bournemouth. We'd have beaten them without him. And he played until like the 70-odd minute when we were 3-0 up, and then he got another injury, even though he went into that game with an injury. So I think that was the one point where I'd really say Arteta should have rested him, was that Bournemouth game. But you can't rest him for City.
To be honest with you, I actually think people are reading into the England squad thing too much. I think he's going to be out injured regardless. I think we've seen it every international break. Dunk pulled out the last one, or the one before that. I can't quite remember. A couple of players did, actually. I think the problem is Arsenal aren't going to be completely transparent with England until the last minute about Saka, because they don't want to give away to City about the fact that he might actually be injured. And I'm not being funny, Southgate doesn't decide his whole squad the day before the weekend's games anyway, or like before they're announced, sorry. So I think there's a potential that Saka actually is injured and he's going to miss the game regardless, and then they have to pull out of the England squad to rest for the 2 weeks.
The bottom line is,
go on.
No, I'm saying the bottom line is, and I said this on BSB yesterday, like, as good as Saka is, I think if you rest your laurels on one 21-year-old or 22, if you rest your laurels on a 21-year-old, I don't really see Arsenal winning a major trophy until he gets the help he needs. And Arsenal are improving, and they can get there. But the reliance on Saka, the over-reliance for me, like, we will say City's a massive game, but at the end of the day, it's 3 points. City can still drop 3 points somewhere else, and Arsenal can gain 3 points somewhere else. Literally just last weekend, Arsenal won 4-0, City lost 2-1. Like, and I'm not saying that you lot should go throw the game to City. You know what I'm saying? You go and get a draw out of that game, and then Saka's able to play an extra 6-7 games, and he burns out a lot later, or he doesn't burn out at the end of the season. I'd just say I'd rather that than just living in the 3 points because of how big the game is. But I'm not an Arsenal fan, obviously, so obviously we're gonna have different views on it. Do you know what I'm saying? In the long term, I just think it's about sustainability when the player's so young, innit?
By the way, there's 450 of you in the building. Make sure you smash the like button if you haven't done so, if you don't mind. I'm not going to demand it from you guys, but it would be much appreciated if you can do so. It helps the video, it pushes the next people. We want to be hitting 20k at some point by Christmas, if that can be done. So yeah, if you haven't subscribed and you're watching and you like the content, you know where the subscribe button is. Make sure to subscribe to all these lads as well in the pinned and also in the description. You can find them there. But yeah, man, moving away from Arsenal, because all the games going to be spoken about tomorrow. I'm pretty sure by most channels, etc., etc. Liverpool months, man. You're playing later today. You know, you got McAllister versus McAllister. It's Anfield. Yeah. You had Klopp saying about the replays. You know, you've had George's team is probably George saying, I don't give a crap anyways. Like, this is what's been done to our club from your team specifically. I think this is time for maybe Liverpool to, like, you know what? I look at Liverpool and I still don't think they've got out of their gear 2 or 3. I think there's still another gear to go, you know? And I think it's kind of scary. And I think if there's anything that's going to be riled up with Liverpool as a fan base, as a team, it's probably what's gone on in the past week. Referees are definitely going to favour you now, 100 million %. You can't deny that. And you probably deserve a decision if you want to make it balanced.
No, I disagree with that, but go on.
to make it balanced. And I'm gonna say one more thing. I think this is Nunes key. Gakpo's out for for about 6 weeks, so it's time to shine, man. Time to prove you wrong out of anyone, right?
Yeah, it's true. Now listen. Whenever I criticize any of my own players, it's for them to prove me wrong. So that goes for any player that I don't, I look at and go, 50-50 on you. What I'd say about the whole decision thing, I disagree with that. People forget the decision that with the VAR against Wolves, I believe in the FA Cup, when Wolves got absolutely robbed. So it's like, as I said, the two occasions I remember is obviously Brentford versus Arsenal. They forget to draw the lines, and against Wolves, they just completely cocked up the whole VAR. The whole thing, they measured the offside against the wrong player. So it has happened, and it is what it is now. Like, I feel like the media kind of overplaying it now. Like, it's just like, all right, can we move on, kind of thing. My thing is that I believe not just Liverpool were robbed, but Tottenham were robbed as well, because Tottenham got the 3 points, and they're gonna take the 3 points in a game where we usually win anyways. However, like, I think it's kind of robbed some of the Tottenham fans, and obviously, George, I don't know what your take on it is, on like, it's like Tottenham fans can say they won the game, but it's like, you won a game with a dodgy decision. Like, I feel like there are a lot of Tottenham fans out there that probably wanted to say, no, we beat Liverpool because we were better than them, kind of thing. Look fair and square, regardless of what happened in the game. And now we're kind of stuck thinking, what if? Like, would Tottenham have won with Liverpool won? I feel like they've generally ruined the game. So it's not really about tribalism. I think it's just about better in football, so fans can walk away saying we won the game fair and square and whatnot. And I'm not saying Tottenham wouldn't have won. I'm not saying Liverpool would have won. I can't tell the future. Or I can't tell an alternate reality. Do you know what I'm saying? But that's what's so frustrating about the issue. I think Jurgen Klopp, when he's saying about the replay stuff, I don't co-sign that. I'm letting you lot know now. I do not co-sign that. That's just stupid, isn't it? But it is what it is. I know Liverpool feel hard done by. It still burns, obviously. Like, it would be the same if it happened to anyone. But I just don't, as I said, I don't really get the fans that are kind of like trying to do the one up. Oh, we were done dirty this time. Oh, we were done dirty that time. At the end of the day, a lot of decisions are subjective unless Pragmo, whatever you say their name, come out and say we got it wrong. Then that is categorically, factually wrong. Most other decisions are still subjective. No matter how blatant to the eye it is, it's still subjective because no one's come out and said anything about it. What I don't like is the shamelessness. It's the shamelessness. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's your whole persona.
No, bro. But I'm not shameless when it comes to, bro. If man got wrong,
this guy has got onto me so many times when the decision has not gone Man United's way.
Yeah, but subjective, bro.
I don't care. That's what you do.
Subjective. I'm talking about when I'm seeing videos of that gap tooth Yorkie bar expressions. He's going, oh my gosh. Oh my days, like, I don't care. Like, that stuff there gets me mad. By the way, that stuff gets me mad. I'll be real, because it's like, bro, I get it. Like, Jota with the high foot, but you got to also remember, Ollie Skip should have been sent off before that. Like, these things are subjective. This is factual, bro. This is factual, so that's just all dead, in it. Like,
yeah, but the problem is for me, right, is that there's been plenty of factual cases beforehand where it's been in Liverpool's favour, like the Wolves one. Like, that was a factual one, and
yeah, that was factual,
Klopp after that wasn't calling for a replay for integrity of the game, because at the end of the day, it benefited him. I think he's clever. He knows what he's doing. There was never ever going to be a replay for this game, but him calling for it in a presser is adding fire to the media, and it's putting a lot of pressure on the referees to now back Liverpool in the future cases. I think that's my take on it anyway. I think
George, look at Man United with the Wolves one. They should have had a penalty, respectively so. Yep. And then decisions after that which should have went our way and by right should have went our way. Yeah. Like the little penalties, the handballs and all that. Nothing happened.
Bro, that's all
I guarantee you we're going to see the end of some poor refereeing, whether that's this weekend or in the coming weeks, because they're going to try and correct their wrongs.
But this is what's wrong with it, though. This is what's wrong with it. All those decisions are still subjectory. They are not fact, because no one's come out and said we fucked up. No one's come out.
The FA Cup one, they did.
Yeah, the Wolves one, that's why I said with the Wolves one, I came out. That's the first thing I mentioned. I said the Wolves one and the Arsenal versus
the Tony equaliser.
Yeah, that is where I can understand where, again, more should have been done. I just don't get why people are on us when we're trying to do what's right. Obviously, it's not necessarily for the integrity of the game in all parties. In my opinion, it should be for the integrity of the game. In Klopp's opinion, I can't legislate for that. Do you know what I'm
This
saying?
thing to Liverpool, by the way. I'm not crucifying Liverpool. I'm crucifying the VAR. Not. This ain't at Liverpool
course.
club. You know, this is down to
No,
the
but I'm just saying
officiating.
that's what a lot of fans are doing, though.
They lost the
That's
league because of that. By the way, I think that one decision with the Brentford line and that game there shows there's some incompetence, if not some corruption within it all. Right, with Lee Mason, etc., whatever. Guess what? He's now. I swear he's the one that's training people in the VAR. Or something stupid. He potentially lost the league because of that one decision. See that decision there for you as well, Mons. That could I think you're looking good at it. You're going to get better. I think it is what it is. I was wrong about Liverpool at the start of the season.
I know you were. I know.
The maddest thing is,
that one decision can cost you later in the season potentially. Let's say if you do go shit and you end up fifth and lose out by 2 points or something because of that decision, or you're up there with Man City and you should be winning the league, but that one game there, you know, is the reason why you didn't win a league or something like that. But I'm just saying it's not good enough, man. It does annoy me that how can you bring in technology to make the game even worse? I'd rather bring in controversy and see the Sun newspaper at the back, sorry Scousers, or News of the World, or if that still exists, or Daily Mail, and you see at the back and the image and you're like, wait, what, we got robbed? Why? How? Like, you know, I'd rather that. I'll be honest. VAR, I think it's killing the emotion too much for me.
I think they're changing the rules too much. No, the refs don't even know what they're doing themselves. They haven't got a clear protocol kept in place after that bloody audio. The fact that they're all screaming over each other and no one had a clue. Like the guy even said, "Are you happy with that?" And he was like, "Yeah, goal. Wait, no, offside. No, onside. What?" Like it's just a mess, man. How have they not got a clear and concise way of doing VAR? Which all you have to really do is just all it should be is gives you a second chance to look at something that the referee might have missed or the linesman might have missed. Say that's all it should be.
It's crazy to me that this week as well, like we've heard that maybe they're going to stop Darren England from reffing future Liverpool games this season, which apparently isn't true, but might be true. But all of these things they've done, the one thing they could at least have done is have like an emergency meeting and off the back of it go, why did this mistake happen? Let's fix it instantly. So the communication thing of like check complete rather than just saying, yeah, it's a goal, no, it's not a goal. Why have they not addressed that and gone, look, this was a massive mistake that happened. We have now fixed that issue so it doesn't happen again. But they're faffing around with other things, trying to make themselves look better and trying to appease Liverpool fans, and it's just a mess.
I just think that there's just no need. This is a footballing problem. It's not a tribalism problem. I just can't be asked for everyone trying to one-up each other on decisions. It's just dead. Like, do you know what I'm saying? I think what everyone should be doing is following not exactly what Liverpool are doing, but speaking up and showing some backbone. And you know what I'm saying? That's what I think should be happening, as opposed to just demanding an apology. That's dead.
No, I do agree. I think the problem I have with it is that what are they demanding? What are Liverpool like? They have 100% a right to speak up. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like all it is just elevating the conversation, which is all we can really do at this point. Like at the end of the day, the refs or PGMO or whatever they're called, like they haven't come out and said that, oh, we're changing the rules or we're changing the protocol to do this instead. At the moment, at this current moment, nothing has changed except for the fact that a referee might not referee for in Liverpool games, or he's suspended for like a couple of weeks. That's all that's happened. That's not going to change the whole process, which is a massive problem. They need to look at themselves and realize how to fix it.
Me personally, I think just it's a simple fact of the rule, because if the actual rule is if there's an offside and the ref whistles for the game to resume, you can't go back. Like, so even if the decision's wrong, you can't go back and delay the game. And so if it's a yellow card, if it's a red card, if it's a goal, the rule book state you can actually go back, delay the game, and say it's a goal, or it's a red card, or you can do all that.
That's even you could have scored. Liverpool could have, Tottenham could have scored an own goal. Just walk it back into the goal.
No, but they're not gonna. I don't think they're gonna do that.
It's happened before lodes of times.
No, but then also we don't know it wasn't offside or something like that. Like they wouldn't have said to us.
I'm just saying that what they need to do is add the offside to the red card, yellow card, goal kicks. Sorry, red card, yellow card, and maybe a possible goal or not a goal, where you can actually stop the game. Because remember, when he'd resumed the game, they're saying, VAR saying, we can't stop the game. We've resumed the game. We can't do anything now. The game's gone on. So that's the rule that needs to be changed. Add offsides to that, and that's as simple as that. People in the chat can be crying and saying this, I'm being the victim, but that's exactly what's wrong with football. That's exactly what's wrong with it right now. still doing the tribalism, and we're generally talking about something that needs to be better for football. Because I don't want to see that happen to another team, especially against me. If it happens against me, now I'm like, I can't even say I beat the team fairly. Or like, do you know what I'm saying? It's dead. I ain't even got my bragging rights.
Inconsistency is a bit weird as well, because I mean, the game finished against Man United and Brighton, and yet they managed to pull back a penalty after the full-time whistle. That was going back to it after like the game had finished.
You take those.
Obviously, the rules might have been different back then, but like it's just
part of the rule. That's part of the rule, though, isn't it?
Okay.
Like penalties, they can audit penalties, yellow cards, red cards. Why they've just left offsides out of that, bro? I will never know. I'll never know.
I wish they just had like referees had common sense for one, and then a bit of backbone, because it could still have been solved even after he's having it in his ear. Oh, we can't do anything now. We can't do anything now. It's like you've already made a massive, massive fuck up. You can then break a little bit of protocol to undo the massive fuck up. And he could have just like, because he held his hand to his ear to listen to them when there was going to be the throw-in, right? Nothing had happened since the goal. He could have gone, right, stop the game. I'm going to go over, speak to the fourth official and the two managers and say to them, look, this is what's happened. It was a goal. He could have even said to Ange, like, would you be accepting of going back and giving them the goal? And if Ange said no, then fine, he carries on by the rules. But if Ange says yes, then he does it. But there was just no, like, let's be adults and actually think about the best solution to this problem. It was just, no, that's the rule. We have to stick to it. And that's it.
Yeah. And yet again, it was a huge communication issue. It feels like it's always a massive communication issue with these things as well, which they need to set a better protocol when it comes to this stuff. Can't have like 20 people talking at once and then everyone getting confused and not really knowing what the process is. The fact that someone didn't even know that you couldn't go back after the kick has gone was embarrassing in itself. Like the fact they had to ask the question, like, can't you just go back? And they were like, no, we can't. Like it shows that they're incompetent. Do you know what I mean? Like they need to just do better.
Yeah, I agree. But what we say for Liverpool though, as a team now, this is the time to kind of kick on and use that as something. You know, you go play Brighton this weekend at Brighton. The way they played against Villa, that should be a massive eye opener to the way you play. You should be able to smash them, right? The way you set up Salah, I think Trent. I think you could be even like a Salah Nunes kind of type thing up front. Like, you know, it's just out off the ball. You'd counter them time and time after again. There's so much space. I don't think De Zerbi, he's not going to abandon his principles of the game. You know, they're going to look to dominate you, but I think you got more than enough in attack. I think you're going to go up again. I think we're going to see it this weekend once. Like, I think Darwin Nunes is going to show why he's the number 9.
We have to, because if after all this controversy, we go and we mess this up, while two of our rivals, when I say rivals, I'm talking like two of our top 4 rivals in Arsenal and City, are playing against each other. So someone is dropping points. We can't afford to drop points again. In my opinion, Tottenham are going to go into Tottenham go into the international break, top of the league. Tottenham go get their 3 points. For me, Arsenal or City, one of them drop points. Tottenham go top of the league. And this because again, you have to take advantage of games when teams are playing each other in the top 4. You have to take advantage of that. And I think who did Tottenham play?
Luton.
It should be a win.
Luton away.
Luton away. Yeah. So after that Son hat trick.
Yeah, but this is the problem. This is what we're not good at. We're not good at taking advantage when we should. That is the problem. That's when Ange's on something if we do that.
It's the low block, and I have realised the low blocks you have struggled with a little bit.
Yeah, massively. We get a lot of shots, but just can't break them down. That's the problem.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. I feel like Liverpool versus Brighton is a tough game, especially going away to the Amex, not trying to get shot on by the Seagulls. And then, of course, you've got Arsenal and City playing each other. So for me, again, this is a massive opportunity.
Crazy. Arsenal and Tottenham are on the same goal difference as well. Same point, same goal difference.
4 is the only thing that's in our favour.
Tottenham are called leaky and Arsenal are called defensive juggle. It's crazy to me. But anyway, no, I don't know, man. We'll have to see. I think if you go and get the win, we'll be able to go above probably maybe Arsenal or City if Arsenal can go and get the win.
Top of the league in October. Wow.
But,
we've seen that before, man.
I don't want any mention of that. We've been here before, man. We've been here before.
Kaz, I can't hear your hackles and cackles from down there. Please do not.
Brother, I'm still in the top 10.
No jokes are permitted from beyond 6th place. I don't want to establish rules on you, but no jokes are permitted beyond 6th place.
We're back this weekend, man. We'll see after this weekend, man. We'll see after this weekend. We'll see if Ten Hag's got some balls or not, man. We'll see.
Who you guys got this weekend again? It's Burnley.
We got Brentford at home. At home, but does it really matter? Now, Brentford, to be fair, the one thing I will respectively say, Brentford have been not the greatest, but Man United haven't either, so we'll see about that one.
As a keeper has no skin fade. He just has hair than skin and a hat.
Who's that?
Oh no. I can't take a man seriously. He doesn't even get his hair done.
Oh,
Bro.
whatever, man. All right,
He doesn't have a skin fade. Bro, how can I take a man seriously?
All right, we'll talk about it more later, anyways. Tomorrow, baby. Mr. Link says, "Big up, man. Them good to see you. Praying for a Luton banana pill. I think mentality is everything once again for Liverpool. Good to catch the boys live. Big up yourself, man. Hopefully your meetings during the day are all good, Mr. Link. See that in the comments, man. Big up yourself, guys. There's 530 of you in here. Make sure to smash the like if you haven't done so. Just a reminder, we are 31 from 200. As well, there's an international break coming up as well, so it's like a lot of you probably won't be as interested as the next person when it comes to no football, but we will be providing content every day regardless, so you guys are somewhat entertained as well, man. So big up yourselves. But yeah, moving on a little bit from the Liverpool stuff, I just feel like we're gonna have to talk about one other club written off by a lot of people, including myself, of course, because I don't like them at the start of the season. I did actually say, though, I believe Newcastle will end up going on a run considering their fixtures, and they've done exactly that. They deserve everyone in here that's watching right now. You need to listen, bro. Newcastle are no joke. Whatever Brexit football they got going on, it doesn't matter. It's happening, bro. And they're going to go get more people in January. That's a fact. Their young borders are starting to come through. They got squad players that are scoring against PSG. Yeah. Almiron is back smiling, so his purple patch is back, and that's a scary Almiron. Newcastle are looking dangerous, like proper dangerous, man. And it's not even like Callum Wilson and Isaac are scoring all the goals. It's more of a team thing. Where are they in the league, man? They are sitting. Where are they? They're sitting 8th. They're a few points off of 5th place. This is probably the perfect time to go in and on the weekend and go do whatever it is. Does Eddie Howe deserve more flowers?
Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes. And I actually thought he was going to be not a flop, but I didn't think he was going to be that good when he first appointed. I thought it was a weird move, but hold my hands on, man. He's done an incredible job, because it's not even just like, okay, yes, they've obviously spent a lot of money on players like Tonali and Bruno and a couple of others, but it's more the fact that he's brought in players like Dan Burn, who's like a Newcastle player Newcastle. Fan
what a leap, that was a prop. I expect something like that from a 6'7" person or whatever he is, yeah. But that was a salmon leap. Like,
he put his life into that. He put his life.
I think he sucked in the energy from the crowd and literally just like used it as like a power boost.
Looking like one of them FIFA Street goals back in the day, when
slow-mo ready to like bang it.
I think we're living in the Matrix personally, because we've seen Fabian Schär. In fact, you know what? We've seen Fabian Schär score. We've seen Dan Burn score against Paris Saint-Germain, and we've seen Jamal Lascelles pocket Mbappe. No, take it in. Yeah. No, man, take it in. We're living in the universe. We've seen Jamal Lascelles. Jamal Lascelles pocket Kylian Mbappe. When was the last time you man have really seen Jamal Lascelles play, apart from the weekend just gone? When's the last time? We're talking dumb it era. And
Jamal Lascelles kept a clean sheet against Man City.
Bro. Clean, yo.
Wait, did Dominic play? Dominic didn't play. No, he didn't play. I thought you were going to say no. He played with him. It was Dominic, and it was Dominic and Lascelles. No, that's against Man City. No, but I'm talking about PSG. It was Schär and Lascelles. Yeah. Lascelles, he's put the armband on, and he's looking like flipping William Saliba. How?
I do think Eddie Howe deserves credit though, because a lot of people will pivot to Saudi money, this, that, and the other. That squad and the starting 11 that they won with last night, that's still not that's not a City super squad. That's still got a lot of components of a cheaply assembled squad. And he's got them playing like a team. I did think when Anthony Gordon started geeing up the crowd about 2 minutes in, after he won, like, he didn't even win anything. It went out for a goal kick, and he started really giving it to the crowd. I thought, like, they might put too much into this too early and get a bit emotional, get a bit carried away by it. But they just carried it for the whole 90 minutes, which was helped by the Newcastle crowd, who were just mental. But
Yeah,
no, I think
You
Eddie
would love
Howe
to have
deserves a
been
lot.
there, man. You would love
Bruno
to have been there.
Gomes showing why he's one of the best DMs. 100,000,000%. Since he's got his contract, that's it. Don't matter. Don't care. The guy's back. That guy is a baller.
The only thing he has to be a little bit careful though. There was that one moment with when he
Should have got sent off.
banged Marquinhos in the head for no reason whatsoever.
How they missed that.
That was outrageous.
I
think
who cares?
He might have let the occasion get a little, like, to him a little bit there, but yeah, man, he's quality.
You know what? I saw that. I think PSG had an off day. Go check when they got battered in the French league not so long ago as well. They got roasted. Nice roasted them as well. It was pretty much the same thing that they did. Soak up the pressure and counter on them and hit them in areas that they're weak in. Like this is exactly what new Tonali showed why they bought Tonali, by the way. That he's bought for these Champions League games, Champions League moments. What a play again! What a player, man. He made that was men against boys out there. I know PSG have got. I'm not going to make excuses for them. They have got a 17-year-old Emery, very good player and everything. They're trying to build a squad, but it's a squad full of boys. You know, Kolo Muani, trying to fit in all these attacking players. Who else? Ramos, Dembele, Mbappe, and all that. I'm not saying that Dembele is anything young anymore, but it didn't work. So no matter what attacking talent you get, sorry, Jamie Lissell said, "What? Who are you?"
I think you completely underestimated Newcastle.
Underestimated.
4-2-4 lineup.
Yeah, I think you give a lot of credit to Howe and Newcastle, but I think Luis Enrique, like a 4-2-4 pretty much, because if you're putting Mbappe and Ousmane Dembele as the wide players, like they're not tracking back. That's a weak midfield to come up against Tonali, Bruno, and Longstaff. Like that's a physical battle, and they just did not have it in that midfield at all.
Can we say one thing though? That Saïd Emery kid.
He's quality
for a 17-year-old.
He was definitely their best player. I feel like.
Give me variety vibes, man.
I watched a few PSG games this season. I don't really know what Emery's doing, but that Saïd Emery kid is playing pretty much week in, week out, and you can see that he's just growing within every occasion. I feel like the occasion didn't even get to him. I think for me, if they started with maybe a 3 in midfield at least and gave him some help, and then maybe brought on one of the attackers, because just throwing, I don't know, it's just naive throwing all the attackers on at once. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, man.
Yeah, it felt like they just didn't really have that creative outlet in midfield to sort of like connect the midfield to the attack. It was sort of more just, let's hold with these two and then hope the front four can just outpace them pretty much. It seemed like the game plan, and it just didn't work.
Individual brilliance, FC, innit? And then Ousmane Dembele for me stunk it up, man.
He hasn't had a good season so far. No chance.
Nah, he hasn't.
Yeah, Longstaff, man. I see the rigidness of that. I can't knock it. You just can't knock it, man. Every time you say, nah, but they got this player. Bro, Eddie Howe's got, you know what Eddie Howe's kind of reminding me a little bit of? And I know people are going to say, what? How can you? But his man management it must be top tier. Because it's reminding me, he's reminding me a little bit of Ferguson by getting the best out of average ballers. I'm talking real average, like back in the day. Right now, we'd call them sick. But your Darren Fletcher's on the squad, your John O'Shea's, and all these guys, they were sick, don't get me wrong, in their own right. But when you look at the average ones, Tom Cleverley's and that's the way I look at Eddie Howe managing the Longstaffs of the team, you know? The Dan Burns of the team. You need these sort of players. And it's good to see an English manager do well, man. I can't lie personally, because they don't get enough recognition or they don't get enough opportunity. And maybe they don't deserve too much of opportunity. But Eddie Howe is wicked, man. To the point where they look so dusted. To the point now they're looking again like one of the threats in the league, and I'm pretty sure if you go look at their next run of fixtures, which I'm gonna bring up now,
it is tasty.
Is they got, other than West Ham away, which is going to be another test for them. I think they got Crystal Palace, then they got Dortmund at home, Wolves away, then they got us in the EFL Cup, then they got Arsenal. Like these are a lot of tests there, and you can't put nothing past them anymore. Again, it's just they're eating up the opportunity, man. They're eating up the opportunity.
That's the thing. So, listen, FPL runners, double up. That's what I'm going to say, double up.
What do you mean double up?
Don't worry, man. Oh, you think I'm here to tell you, my league? You think I'm here to just double up? You don't know? You know, double up.
Yeah. All right, mate. All right. Oh, man. You lot kill me, man. I don't know if I did this already. Big up Solomon for the super sticker. I appreciate that very much. But yeah, man, I feel like
I don't know if it's because
it's gonna be a tough year.
maybe it's just because they've got a better squad than a lot of other teams. But I feel like he's managed to manage the injuries a lot better than other teams have, because they've got Barnes as a long-term injury. Wilson's in and out of the team constantly with injuries, and even Isak as well was injured for a fair bit of it. And I feel like Botman as well now. Yeah, like we were saying before, Lascelles stepping up to the plate. We even got Target stepped up to the plate in rotation for Byrne in the cup and stuff like that. Like these aren't necessarily exciting names, yet somehow all of them seem to be performing when they come in to the side at the moment for Newcastle. So again, I think that's just brilliant.
Man United paid 100 million. Pay it. I want Bruno Gomes in my team. That's the 8. I need him. I need it.
It's bro, like, no, bro, it's the worst thing is no one can hate. You know, there's no angle. There's no angle where you can hate on Newcastle because their local lads actually bagged 3 of the goals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's what's so mad.
Mad.
All bloody Longstaff.
They've gone. Oh, do you know what? No first choice
dream, man.
Bro, Botman is like their Van Dijk, like their. Do you know what I'm saying? And he's not there, and they still lock these man up. It's crazy. Mm-hmm. Longstaff bagging against PSG. We're living in a simulation,
bro. Yes, no, I'm full wholehearted rooting now for Newcastle in the Champions League. Like, everyone loves an underdog, right? And I don't get it. I think I saw a clip of what they called the club, like Adam McCall. Why are they getting Newcastle scoring a French team? A French team, like it's not like if it's Man City, it's like, all right, cool. Arsenal want them to lose, okay, cool. But Newcastle in a Champions League is like, bro, let them do well, man. I think it's cool. I can't lie. It's just, yeah, it's a bit weird. It's like Chelsea back in when they beat Bayern. I can't lie. I wanted Chelsea to win it. Something about it that season I wanted them to win it personally. I just thought it was a great story for them. They had Basingwa and like Van Aanholt and all them man. They were underdogs of it all. But not now though. I don't want them to win it no more, or Arsenal. But yeah, man, I think Newcastle got a good thing going on at the moment. Good momentum. Once check private chat. Once. Check private chat. Yeah. But yeah, man, there's not much else to really talk on until tomorrow. Maybe we'll be back tonight. Big up Rory, big up George, and big up Mons. As I said, guys, if you haven't subscribed yet and you're listening into this and you've got obviously an account, it'd be great if you want to subscribe. It would let you know when we next go live on the road to 20K, then the 30s and the 40s and so forth. We're trying to be like George, you know, with his 100K channel pretty much. But yeah, man, big up all yourselves. There again, their YouTubes are all in the description or in the pinned. If you like Mons does generic stuff, not just Liverpool, etc. He's mainly generic. So go over to Big Six Bands, which you're going to be heading into the next 5 minutes. So if you stay on here, it will go to Big Six Bands. We're going to talk about something completely different. You're probably going to hear me moan. Yeah, long day. Yep. Shut up, man.
Yeah,
and you got Rory. Yeah. Rory talks ball. Rory talks football. You know, find him on TikTok, find him on Twitter. You can see his YouTube channel, and you can see he's doing quite well at the moment as well. More content to come out, and obviously, man like George. Well, other than Tottenham, you're doing quite decent new ideas of videos and stuff, which I might be appearing in weeks, man. So
got Man United. Do Man United fans think the same? We'll do a Liverpool one at some point. Chelsea is also on the horizon, so yeah, keep an eye out for that.
Yeah. Big up. I appreciate it. Make sure you like the video on the way out, and we'll be back maybe later, if not tomorrow.